Shunsui Kyōraku is one of the most fascinating characters in Bleach, a man who wears a constant smile yet wields incredible power. Shunsui embodies duality, carefree yet deeply responsible, playful yet profoundly wise. While many see him as a laid-back flirt, beneath his relaxed exterior lies one of the Soul Society's most complex and strategic warriors. Shunsui's outward persona is defined by his laid-back and jovial demeanor. He often avoids conflict when possible, preferring to sit back, sip sake, and let life unfold. This personality can make him feel irresponsible, even unserious. But in truth, this carefree attitude is a mask, a deliberate choice to disarm his enemy and reassure his allies. His calm exterior serves as a counterbalance to the chaos of the world around him, creating an aura of stability in the midst of uncertainty of war. However, his lightheartedness isn't just a tool. It reflects his belief in living fully despite the inevitability of death. As someone who has faced countless battles, he understands the fragility of life and chooses to enjoy the little moments. This philosophy makes him deeply relatable and serves as a reminder that strength isn't always about brute force. It's also about resilience and finding joy even in the darkest times. Don't let Shunsui's easygoing attitude fool you. He's a master tactician who thrives in battle. His fight against Starrk during the Arrancar arc is a perfect example of this. While Starrk overwhelms his enemies with sheer power, Shunsui counters with creativity, using Katen Kyōkotsu's ability to turn games into deadly weapons. Each move is calculated, blending misdirection, patience, and deep psychological insight to outmaneuvering his opponent. Shunsui's brilliance lies in his ability to adapt. Unlike warriors who rely solely on overwhelming strength like Kenpachi, he uses wit, cunning, and to exploit his enemy's weakness. His zanpakutō, Katen Kyōkotsu, mirrors this approach, forcing opponents into games where rules can shift at any moment. This combination of intelligence and unpredictability makes Shunsui one of the most dangerous fighters in the Soul Society, proving that a sharp mind can just be as lethal as a sharp blade. His leadership has been put to the ultimate test during the Quincy War. Following Yamamoto's death, he was thrust into the role of Captain Commander, inheriting a fractured Gotei 13 facing its greatest threat yet. Instead of ruling with an iron fist like Yamamoto, Shunsui led with empathy and pragmatism. He understood that fear and despair were already gripping the Soul Society, so he used his calm demeanor to inspire confidence and unity amongst the captains. One of Shunsui's most notable decisions was assigning Kenpachi Zaraki to train with Unohana, despite the risk involved. This choice wasn't just about strengthening their forces, it was a calculated gamble to unlock Kenpachi's full potential in preparedness for the Quincy's threat. Additionally, Shunsui's ability to navigate political tension, such as dealing with Central 46's interference, showcased his diplomatic skills. His leadership wasn't about commanding obedience but fostering trust and collaboration, a stark contrast to Yamamoto's authoritarian style. Yamamoto and Shunsui represent two very different approaches to leadership. Yamamoto ruled with an iron fist, prioritizing discipline and order above all else. His strength was absolute, and his presence alone was enough to command respect and fear. In contrast, Shunsui's leadership style is more nuanced, relying on emotional intelligence and adaptability rather than sheer dominance. Shunsui's approach reflects the belief that a leader must be more than just a figurehead of power. While Yamamoto often stood as a solitary pillar of strength, Shunsui emphasized teamwork and the importance of every individual's contribution. The shift in leadership style not only modernized the Gotei 13, but also helped the organization survive its darkest hour. By leading with compassion and pragmatism, Shunsui proved that empathy can be just as powerful as raw strength. His zanpakutō, Katen Kyōkotsu, is a perfect example of his character. Its playful yet deadly abilities force opponents to participate in life-or-death games, where the rules are unpredictable as Shunsui himself. This duality mirrors Shunsui's own nature, seemingly carefree but hiding immense power and complexity between the surface. His Bankai takes this concept to its peak. Its 4 acts are as tragic as they are devastating, turning the battlefield into a theater of despair. Shunsui only uses this technique as a last resort, knowing the cost it exerts on both himself and his opponent. Through zanpakutō, we see the death of Shunsui's character, a warrior who understands the weight of his actions and chooses his battles carefully, even when wielding overwhelming power. In conclusion, Shunsui Kyōraku is a character defined by duality. His laid-back demeanor hides a sharp mind and a compassionate heart, making him one of the most unique characters in the Soul Society. Whether it's his playful battles, his calculated leadership, or his devastating Bankai, Shunsui embodies the balance between power and restraint, strength and empathy. Now, it's your turn. What's your favorite Shunsui moment? Is it his fight against Starrk, or his rise to being captain of the Gotei 13, or the emotional weight of his Bankai? Let us know in the comments.